We'll go right there. We'll hit a few of these houses. One of them's a can't miss. All right. Sounds good? Sounds good. Let's do it.
It's a cold and rainy Monday night in Jerusalem. Yet these young politicians are circling the city's heavily Anglo-populated neighborhoods in hopes of winning over voters for the next day's elections.
No answering.
No answering. Okay.
That was easy.
These door-to-door campaigners represent the faction called Likud Anglos. They are running in Tuesday's elections for 5 seats in Likud's Central Committee and 2 seats in the party's Jerusalem Branch Council.
We went door to door to just Likud members, and we just campaigned. We gave out when the person wasn't home. We left a flyer. When they were at home, we spoke to them about what we want to accomplish. But it's not, we couldn't just go door to door. So so the person-to-person politics, which is really the heart of a real democracy, is absent. It's absent in this election, and often it's absent from the general politics in Israel.
At the head of Likud Anglos and the driving force behind the 5 immigrant candidates is Daniel Tauber. Tauber moved to Israel with his wife 2 years ago after both of them finished law school in New York.
My name is Daniel Tauber. Yeah. Well, why are you so glad I called?
The other Anglo candidates include Yehudit Zweig, Linda Brunel, Ariel Salomon, and Sarah Ravai. Tauber and his colleagues have received a lot of attention from fellow right-wing immigrants over the past few years due to popular events they organized which featured ministers and MKs like Vice Premier Moshe Ya'alon speaking to Likud's Anglo members in English. Tauber joined the Likud party only a few months after making Aliyah, for he had grown up with a family history closely connected to Likud. Tauber's grandfather worked as an aide for Likud visionary Zev Jabotinsky in the United States in 1940.
Obviously, I'd like to represent Anglos. I think that people from America and Britain and the other English-speaking countries have a certain sense of how politics should work, and I'd like to bring that to the Likud. A large group of local leaders who are kind of fed up with the situation in the branch, how nothing's going on. The people in the Central Committee from Yerushalayim are just kind of yes men to whoever's in charge, and they want to change it and kind of rejuvenate the SNF and create a block and essentially actually do anything. Yeah.
Tauber says that he hopes to be elected to both the Central Committee and the Jerusalem Branch Council so as to improve the party's treatment of its members and restart activities at the local Likud Center. But the #1 lesson for the young political hopefuls is that Israeli politics can be an unfair game. There are 161 Central Committee positions representing Jerusalem, and voters will most likely not choose individual names on the ballot, but rather hand in pre-checked blocks of candidates, usually unified under a single banner. This means that for the 5 Anglo candidates to stand a chance, they must find their way onto a larger list of names.
What it all boils down to in the end is candidates who have lists of Likud members who they say they've registered or who for some reason they feel that they influence their votes. Those candidates are bargaining to be on people's slates.
A faction called Moreshet Begin agreed to include the Likud Anglos in their list of about 60 candidates for Tuesday's elections. But Moshe Feiglin's Manhigut Yehudit and the incumbent Central Committee members have teamed up in hopes of taking all 161 seats. That is why, only 12 hours before the elections, this small group is making house calls to Jerusalem's English-speaking Likud members in hopes to bring out the extra support needed to give them the winning advantage.
כן, אבל צריך הרבה זמן בשביל זה.
כן, אנחנו צעירים.
יש לנו זמן. יופי, מצוין.
A lot of what's going on really takes place in the deal-making process. Who's going to be in the Central Committee really is not going to be decided tomorrow, unfortunately. I mean, if let's say we had a great turnout for the list that I'm in, I think we could win.
Benjamin Spear reporting for the Jerusalem Post.